Hello, nerds. What's up? How's it going, everyone? Hey, so my stream isn't 100% set up, but so for those that know, I had a bunch of computer issues. Welcome in, Bob. Welcome, Bob. I'll let you guys decide which one was Bob and which one was Bob. Hey, Uli. And everyone else that's coming in. We will be, of course, waiting for the update here for Civ 7 to publish here probably in the next minute or so. I just want to say hi. There's not going to be any webcam today. I just completely cleaned out my PC again. And I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have any issues that pop up during the stream. I think my Elgato is actually part of the reason why I've been having computer issues. So I'm just going to go ahead and have no webcam again today. So, big update 1.4.0. This is the big test of time update. The reason why I honestly didn't want to play normal Civ 7 for the past couple months after playing in the multiple versions of the Firaxis Feature Workshop, where we've been playtesting a bunch of the changes coming. Again, I'm just going to keep an eye right here. I've been testing a bunch of the changes coming, and this is like the big overhaul. This is the absolute massive overhaul. Update's gone live. Hang on. Can I refresh? Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Let me just restart Steam. I'm just hiding my screen just for a second here, guys. I'll be right in. Versions, I'm on the public. Hey, yes, welcome in, Bob. It's good to be on early too. Good to have the time for a live stream today. Let's see. You're not so sleepy, dude. For those that don't know, I've been taking a big step back from streaming for the past while. Oh, here we go. Update. Just to figure out a bunch of live stuff. What I need to do is I just need to decide, hey, like, you can do some live streams Tuesday, Thursday on Twitch and just ignore the YouTube end for a little bit when I'm like super busy like this. It's been hard for me to jump back in and out. And every time I jump out, it's hard for me to jump back in just because I'm the type of person that gets super hyperfixated. So if I start like letting myself play a little bit of Civ, it's gonna wrap up my entire life, and I don't get things like my taxes done. So here we are. Hey, David, welcome in. We'll get in this update. Yeah, the plan was to kind of just jump through a couple of the patch notes if we didn't get to play the update. But if the update came out on time, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right in. Just jump right in. Those things I did a month ago. Yeah, no, I did my taxes like went on time. I'm just talking about in general. There's a bunch of like financial stuff or health stuff, or my dad is also having a lot of health issues, heart issues. So that's been like kind of my priority as of late. So there's been kind of needing to take a step back from a bunch of the Civ creation stuff. But I'm hoping at least at the very minimum, get some live streams back. Tuesday, Thursdays, at least on Twitch. I believe that's when my girlfriend's working anyway, because she works evening and night shift. So it kind of works out for everyone. Is that on console? It should be updating everywhere. Yes. Hope things stabilize. The issues with my father has been an ongoing thing since like last summer, when I kind of started like taking a step back in the past. So. Yeah, here we are. Guys, you gotta let me know what leader and Civ combos do you want to see? Because this is not just the test of time. This is not just a general huge structural update, but there's actually been a massive leader pass change for everyone. Huge balance updates. Of course, Alexander being the brand new leader. So if players want to see Alex, that's a fantastic place to start. The actual first thing I want to point out is if we go here to options, hey, guess what? Guess what I told Firaxis? And I know someone here was helping me out with that. In the past, we've had the enable high resolution UI scaling, and that was just a checkbox, but look what we have now. We finally have UI scaling. So now you can go ahead, and if your biggest concerns with the UI for Civ 7 has been like just everything is absolutely massive, you can scale it now. You can make it smaller. You can make it bigger if you want to. This is actually a very big deal once we get into the game, and I'll show you guys again. But that is like the first thing I want to highlight, is that if you are playing like on a 4K monitor and you want to have like a very small UI, specifically, I'll show you guys once we go into the game. But like we have that. We now have UI scaling, which is absolutely a big deal. I'm going to set it back to 100% just for the game setup. But that is something that I directly told Firaxis, hey, we need this. And they delivered, which is fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Alexander time. When is the update released? Now, Ghoul. Right now. We got sliders. Yeah, it was really funny because I mentioned, hey, we need UI scaling. And the person I was talking to was talking about implementing UI scaling. But of course, the not doing a slider, because it means you need to get your UI to work in so many different scales. But we have a slider anyways, so I guess it worked out. Mission achieved. So here's what we're going to do. We have a bunch of leaders to play through today. Obviously, all our mods have been disabled. None of your mods are probably going to work correctly today. Some of them do. Sometimes. I will let you know that. Some mods do, but honestly, just turn your mods off. I know detailed map tax does not work. And honestly, just experience the game how it is right now. It'll give me a couple days for the mods to get updated. But in the meantime, I'm even playing on 1440p. We got a bunch of leaders here. Let's talk about a couple of these leaders. Alexander is the big news today. The militaristic and cultural leader. Yes, Alex. Okay. Cities other than your capital with a wonder get 10% production and 10% culture. This is doubled if it's on a different continent than your capital. So we actually have the very first leader that has a continent split mechanic. This, of course, highlights his conquering over 3 different continents, as well as having a combat bonus modifier, 2 combat strength for all land military units. This means he'll want to be fighting on the land, big land. He's not really a navy guy. Of course, Alex wasn't famous for sailing the seas, but he had a very, very fast and famous and strong land army. Specifically, +1 combat strength for unique military units for every city with a wonder other than your capital, up to a maximum of 6. So he synergizes really well, not only with, say, Greek hoplites, but anytime you have a unique military unit. Say, for instance, if you take Greece into the next age, into exploration, and then you syncretize and pick up another unit from the exploration age. He works fantastic for this update because of this. He also gets Dominion points. This is the military victory points for every city with a wonder other than the capital. So again, you, of course, want to have wonders. You can build wonders in your capital and then just move your capital later, and that'll give you Dominion points. He's actually a very, very fun leader. Obviously, he's going to be recommended for Greece as the leader of Macedon, but Macedon and Greece kind of have a lot of overlap in history. But he also is suggested for civs like the opposite or the Ottomans. So, for instance, if you play Ottomans in Antiquity, but you pick up, say, Persian Immortals from the beginning of the game, Alex will still have his modifiers affect Persian Immortals, which is pretty cool. But then, of course, this is the big part of the update. We can play as any civ from any age. So we can play as America in Antiquity. We can play as Hawaii from the beginning. We can play as Iceland right now. We can play as Scylla, Korea. I do enjoy that, the fact that they're highlighting that Scylla is Korea. Sometimes people don't understand where some of these civs are coming from. So just like they did the Achaemenid Persia, and how that's separate from a Qajar, which is, I guess, more of a modern-day Iran, which is Persia, right? Just kind of just giving them a little bit of a distinction. There might be another Korean coming soon. That is a complete guess, but we'll see. Update didn't hit you yet. I would suggest just restarting. If you're on PC, restart Steam. If you're on console, you might have to restart your console. We'll see. Never build wonders with Alexander is in your game. Got it. Oh, you're right, Uli. You're right. You're excited it's installed? Hell yeah. So there's oh dude, and then of course the giant bonuses to, or the complete restructuring of victory traditions. I am a big fan of. I think there's a couple, like economic victories, a little bit micromanagey, but I think the general direction of victory conditions, being able to play towards victory condition every single turn, every single age, is a really big deal. A couple of leaders that also have additional changes. Benjamin Franklin has a 5% production towards constructing all buildings for every endeavor you started or supported. Wait a second. What? Oh, he used to have a production bonus towards, like, only production buildings. He gets science on production and science buildings in cities. Production for endeavors, 2 science per age from active endeavors. You can have 2 endeavors of the same type. I really like that. Benjamin Franklin needed to have a little bit of buff to his endeavors, especially given that Gilgamesh is like the new like endeavor leader. I really, really like that. Iceland. Let's do a quick poll here. I know we were gonna have people over on YouTube and over on Twitch. I can do a quick poll on Twitch at least. Oh, that's gonna be, I have to type in my password again. All right, just let me know what you guys want to see tonight. I have a couple of suggestions. Obviously, playing as Alexander, leading him with either the Ottomans or the Greeks sounds very fun to me. We could absolutely play as Iceland and Isabella. I've done a lot of live streams of Isabella, but like, especially if you watch my YouTube series where I wanted to play Iceland Isabella so badly, this is a fantastic way to start. Another suggestion, hey, thanks for the follow. Another suggestion would be playing as, I'm not even sure. We could hit random and actually just pick a civ. Like if you want to see Hawaii from the beginning of the game and how they will either syncretize with the Tongans, or they double down and they pick the unique traditions of Hawaii and antiquity. I think it's highlighting that could be a lot of fun. Marians are another one that have been reworked that are really cool. 2 happiness on happiness, military, and science buildings. Land units are fully healed when you enter a celebration. And then specifically having them led by, let's see, where is he? Chandragupta. Food on excess happiness, 10% food from all celebrations. Unique buildings gain happiness from adjacency from improvements. Oops. He's actually a very good player, like a very good person for happiness bonuses and helping you either just maximize happiness and celebrations or ignoring your settlement and conquering. So he, of course, wants to lead with Maria. Who was the one that had... Oh, did they get rid of the 2... two Pantheon thing? Yeah, I guess there's no double Pantheon anymore. You quit Twitch drops? Yeah, I guess there's Twitch drops. So if you guys have yeah, Twitch drops should be enabled. I think that's all like set up pretty much on Maxley from Fraxis' end. So if you are watching on Twitch, you should be able to get some kind of drops today. They did the same thing when ooh, claim. Nice. They did the same thing on the original release too. Landing is fully healed for celebration. Seems like it'd be hard to time. Yeah, celebration timing is very hard, yes. Where's that? Landing units heal from celebrations. Oh, maybe it's a tradition. Gold for excess happiness, time for excess happiness, combat strength, 5 combat strength with celebrations. And then you can, of course, you can see how your traditions change in each age. If you stay that civ too. 15 minutes of watch time, fantastic. All right. A bunch of these leaders have been updated, of course. So we have Frederick, who gets 2 science for each commendation earned by your commanders. Gain infantry units when you gain a tech mastery or construct a science building. Yep, command radius. Charlemagne has a nice adjustment. Military and science building gain happiness for fortifications, not for districts. So this kind of leans into playing him with the Normans and building a lot of walls. Himiko High Shaman has been changed. So now she gets 15... Oh, is that... Did I misread something earlier? Needless to say, there's a ton of changes throughout the game. Some of them, of course, I can highlight. Some of them we can just jump in and see what it's like. Where did... Himiko thing go? Oh, never mind. Okay, this is negative 15% science or culture, negative 15% science, but 15% culture. Double Donor Celebration was 20 and 10. Anyways. I am not a fan of Himiko High Shaman, really at all. I don't like negative penalties to science, especially because all your culture buildings are unlocked in the tech tree. So you could have a crazy culture number, but if you have no science, you can't unlock the culture buildings, which means your culture is never going to get really high anyways. Compare that to Himiko Queen of Wa, who has a huge bonus to science. She's going to end up having more culture than the other Himiko, pretty much just by default, because her science is going to be so high. Hey, Manish, how's it going? Do you already love it? I was very happy with where the Test of Time workshop was going. There's massive things. I had huge ideas about syncretism, and they landed exactly where I wanted them to go, pretty much. I gave very extensive notes. They actually referenced my notes for syncretism specifically when they were talking to us as content creators, and I think it landed in a great place. The victory conditions I'm very happy with. I think there's a couple things that feel a little bit gamey. I think I'm a big fan of triumphs. I think that their biggest round of feedback they got from round 3 on the triumphs, that they needed to be stronger, the bonuses, the dedications, because you can only pick 3, and sometimes they were rather weak. So they are stronger now. I think what's missing is that the dedications need to be game defining. So there's some of them that are like keeping your founder belief in modern era, game defining, changes how you play the game. Other ones, not so much, but we'll go into those as we play. Let me see. Can we get 3 mementos now? No, you can't get 3 mementos. That is a mod conflict. So go ahead, go to your add-ons. Your better memento editor is causing a conflict. So turn off all mods. Turn off all your mods while you try this update. So as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead, if I just select Alex here and I say Greece, and we hit play, and then we go to continue, you're gonna see you only have 2 memento slots. There's already a search feature in here, so say I want something for cavalry, you can get cavalry bonuses, or say I want something for infantry. Like, Firaxis obviously could see the mods that players enjoy the most, and actually during the workshop, there's a lot of talk about which mods players want to have in the game. They know about detailed map tax. There's not detailed map tax in the game yet, but they have said extensively they are aware, and they're working on something, I think is what they said. Can you look up somewhere which civs and leaders can be synchronized by to each different civ or leader? So it's going to be based off of what you are linked to. So let's say Alexander and Greece. You should be able to syncretize with leaders or with civs that are related. So say for Greece, and say we're talking about antiquity, Greece can syncretize for Persia. Let me see. That's probably going to be a wiki thing, to be honest, Madish, but it's tied to whatever your civ is linked to, and I believe whatever your leader is linked to. So, like, whether that's historical or strategic. They haven't changed that too much. You're going to have to play I think it's relatively limited compared to where they first had it. I think it's like a custom list they make. So when you play as America, obviously you could play as civs that unlock America. Say you want to play as Rome, or you play as the Normans, or you play as Spain. So America will be able to syncretize with those civs. And then I believe there's going to be a separate linking from the leaders as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So say if you want to play as Confucius and you don't play as Han, I think you could still syncretize the Chinese unique unit, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They might have gotten rid of that. That just requires a lot of testing from my end. They're just playing this game 2 games ago. Been hooked on your YouTube vids. Nice, dude. 2 days ago. Well, welcome in late. Welcome in. Never, rather late than never, right? It's very complex. So let's just go ahead and just jump into a game here. We had a few different options players wanted to see. We have a couple players here. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up my Twitch manager. We're going to do a poll on Twitch just because it's easy. Who do we play? I'm going to say Isabella, Iceland, I heard. Let's do Alex and Greece. We can play as, let me say, honestly, Jose Rizal, Hawaii. Could be interesting. I got to put Pachacuti in there. And then last, let's say, let's just throw in America. Two-minute poll on Twitch. If you guys are over on YouTube, feel free to join the Twitch chat. There's going to be more live streams over there quite regularly. There should be a link in the description as well. And this is where we're going to be doing some voting, so go ahead and pick which civ you guys want to see today. You playing with Tubman? Oh, they changed Tubman too. Tubman, of course, she still has a 5 war support when you declare war on her. And vegetated terrain does not end her unit movement, but specifically 100% influence towards initiating the espionage actions. But you gain a migrant in the capital whenever you complete an espionage action without being detected. I think this is the best part of her ability in terms of her theme. Like the whole underground railroad, getting slaves out of the south to the north. Like that is her primary mechanic. It was just her first memento before. She still has the memento, so you can select it and get 2 migrants every time you do an espionage action. But that actual moving of population, I think, is the best part of her ability, and I think that's so cool. So that's absolutely something I love to see. Something I love to see here. Ada got a buff. Her culture equals 100% of the total science per turn when you complete tech mastery. So if you remember, say Jean Korea, that's the idea there. I think Amina is still pretty basic. Augustus, of course, is fantastic too. Production in the capital for every town. Culture buildings in towns without any focus. There's also a bunch of narrative events, by the way, that have been added for every civ, as well as new music to be played in different eras. So they're going to have their full music kit during their Apex age, and then also just parts of it, and also tweaked for different ages. So I think it's cool. You didn't get a migrant until like 12 hours in. 12 hours in. Oh, Lafayette. This is huge. Lafayette has gained the Endeavor Reform, which gives him an additional tradition slot, not just a policy slot. Oh, we got a, by the way, people wanted to see Alex in Greece. Fantastic. Supporting this Endeavor grants the leader with additional tradition slot. Players hated that when they split traditions and social policy slots, his ability was still set to social policy slots. So the ability to get an additional tradition slot, which transforms into his combat modifier, is a big deal here. Very big deal here. Which also means that Lafayette could go really strong in a military, whether he gets a unique unit from syncretizing in different ages for getting those military units, or he can actually just affirm his beliefs and get a additional tradition slot and bonus, and that will actually still translate into combat modifiers, which is really cool. So let's go ahead. We're going to say Alex here. We're going to play as Greece. So again, very quickly, Alex's bonuses gives you production bonuses and culture for cities that are not your capital. And this is doubled if it's on a different continent. So we want to conquer specifically. We want to settle some cities. We want to build some wonders, get huge culture, but also conquer specifically towards some other continent. Our combat bonuses are for lane units, combat strength for unique military units as well. And we get dominion points for building wonders. Now, this could be for winning a military victory, or it could be for defending against a military victory while you go for a cultural victory. Specifically with Greece, because you have 3 influence on the palace, you get culture from active endeavors, sanctions, and diplomatic projects that you started or supported. This is sanctions, by the way. Endeavors and sanctions. So this actually works really well with an aggressive playstyle. But you get tourism for every city-state you're Susan of. So again, tourism points. This could be for winning a culture victory or defending against a culture victory while you go for a military victory. I think that's incredibly important. So, and then when we go into other ages, you'll see the influence on the palace does scale per age, which is awesome. And you can see in the exploration age, you also get culture for espionage actions, in addition to endeavors, sanctions, and diplomatic projects. So that's actually a really big thing here. But you can see Greece has a very... what changes per age is mostly just the scaling of the numbers. Sometimes small things will expand, but their core identity is the same through all 3 ages, which I think is fantastic. We, of course, have the Acropolis, will give us access to unique people. It has, of course, happiness, culture, and influence on it. Gold on the Parthenon for each city-state you're Susan of. So synergies with city-states as well. Our hoplites get combat strength if they're adjacent to another hoplite. And our unique civilian is a great person with a charge, has to be built with an Acropolis. And just a bunch of different bonuses. We'll see those as we jump in. And then here is our traditions. We get, of course, combat strength for infantry units for each city-state we're Susan of. You have bonuses to befriending independent city-states. So, again, we're going to have a lot of those. We're going to get bonuses towards endeavors and sanctions as well. But this also transitions into the next age. So, once you hit the next age exploration, you'll get 50% towards initiating and supporting endeavors, 50% towards initiating sanctions and espionage actions. This basically upgrades from the 30% card up to 50%. So you keep these traditions, and if you switch to another civ, you'll keep the traditions, but only the 30%. But if you stay as the civ, you'll get up to 50%. And then Hellenism 1 unlocked with syncretism. So this is the one that you have to unlock via affirming through syncretism. So you either get this card or you can pick up a unique military unit. So happiness and production in cities for each city-state you're Susan of. So that's fantastic as this scales. And that also will scale again. If you reaffirm in Modern Era, that will then get a card that scales. Or you can keep your Exploration Age card, but pick a unit for Modern Age. There's a lot going on here. You didn't read the whole kit? So, yeah, so reading the whole kit is actually really hard at Civ 7. But there's a lot less random passive modifiers now. Which I think is a big deal. So we will play as Greece. You do unlock Bulgaria, Normans, Spain, and Russia in Exploration Age. So I would say we could switch these civs if we decide, or we could play as Greece through all 3 ages and syncretize with some of these civs here, these age unlocks. So we're going to go ahead. There's also a new map type, by the way. So we have continents and islands, Pangaean Islands, fractal continents is the new map type. We know about Shadowed Seas. They do still have the old maps, but Firaxis has said once they get... so this is the original continents plus original archipelago and original fractal. Once they get the replacements for all of the map types in here. So let's see, we have Pangaean Islands is replacing the Pangaea Plus. Fractal continents, we're replacing fractal. The Shadowed Seas might be reflecting something, but they want to get a new archipelago map with the new map scripting. And once they do that, they'll probably sunset some of these old maps. So it stops being so confusing. These maps have been 1,000% better than these maps. I always said that these original maps felt like playtesting maps and not like real maps. They were so boxy, so defined, so weird. I'm just a big fan of the new maps. So we have to decide which map we're going to play as Alex. We could do Fractal Continents, or we could do, I'd say, Continents or Pangea. I'm going to avoid Shattered Seas. So if you guys want to let me know which map type you want to see. What if they build new leaders with a new system in mind for a leader? For example, a leader with benefits from syncretism in specific ways or affirmations? Manish, that's a great point. And I think you actually just hit the nail on the head. I think that's exactly why they designed Alex the way he is. Because look at Alex. Combat strength for unique military units. So this is any unique unit. That means he specifically gets combat bonuses for syncretized military units. So he very much directly is I think, kind of going for what you're asking for. You like the new UI so far? Wait till you can see that we can now scale the UI. That's fantastic. All right, map type. You guys want to see the new Fractal Continents? We have actually showcased this quite a few times, by the way, on the previous live streams. It's been up since like the round 2. So Fractal Continents is very unpredictable. If you're playing on a 6-player map, you tend to like a 2-2-2 split, where you have like 2 players per like landmass, and you have like 3 different homeland distant lands. But it is really unpredictable. All right, people want to see Fractal Continents. I'm gonna make a little bit of a goal is to conquer our entire homelands then, and I want to showcase specifically why that is possible with the new victory conditions and how that's all set up. We are going to keep it on a small map, I believe. If you're playing, I'm just gonna put it standard. Hopefully my PC is not gonna have any issues today. And of course, we have all of the custom settings. I affirm that regroup is the default way. And actually, I did ask for access. What do you guys like? Do you guys like continuity, or do you like regroup? Because regroup is the original age transition setting that was on launch. They added continuity because players wanted a continuity mode, and it is the default. My theory is continuity is default because it's easier for beginners and less jarring for new players. But regroup is kind of where they see the game being designed towards, and Ed has hinted a bunch of times that there will be a collapse transition mode at some point in the Civ 7 setup. So we're going to do regroup here as well. Unique as in Slinger, Cab, Ballista, or unique as in Numidian Cavalry from Carthage. Yeah, unique unit as in Numidian Cavalry, Hoplite, Flaming Archer, those types of things. Yeah. So, and I'm gonna keep all of these settings otherwise pretty much standard. Age, end of age countdown is 10. We're gonna keep this all defaults. The additional walls on AI settlements, Deity no longer sets that to like a ton of free walls, which is great. So let's keep it on Deity. We'll do light disasters. I'm playing on online speed because I can't be bothered to play a standard speed game for live streaming. I love standard speed games, but it takes forever. And we're gonna do time tested allowed historical picks. So civs leaders are gonna pick the civs that they're most historically aligned with, not just whatever is like kind of set up in their transitioning pathway. And they're going to mirror us as well. I will throw in Gilgamesh in here somewhere, because I like having a Gilgamesh in the game. Where is he? Gilgamesh. Just to guarantee he's in the game. We probably won't spawn next to him, but we'll see. And they're going to hit confirm and continue. Now, there's a bunch of mementos we could pick here. There's so many to pick from. We, of course, can filter. Like, if you want specifically the military ones up front. We could also look at bonuses for infantry, which we do not have them unlocked. But we have movement for range units. We have defending. We have combat strength. Honestly, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick up the attribute point ones. And we're going to pick up the militaristic and the cultural attribute points. Because I really like playing Alex as a militaristic cultural leader. Because that's where his bonuses kind of line up. Of course, you can pick anything you want here. We're just going to start there. attribute points are really hard to get now with the update to the game. So I really like having my attributes line up with his leader. So you can see militaristic, cultural, and then Greece is cultural, diplomatic as well. So we're going to have kind of those 3 attributes being our main attributes. And yeah, standard size, regroup, fractal continents, online speed, deity, and launch the game. If you're coming from YouTube, I'll probably try to put a timestamp if you're watching this on the VOD so that you can jump right here. But otherwise, we are very excited to jump in here. I'm very, very excited to see the kind of what everything is going to be looking like. Obviously, we're going to do some conquest. We're going to do some wonder building. We're going to have a great time. Yeah, unsubscribe all of your mods on Steam. They're going to cause issues for the next like week or 2. So some of the really like on it modders will probably update in the next day or 2. But some of them I know obviously people have jobs, so it might be a minute for some. So here we are. Ooh, okay, we're spawning in the tundra. I will go ahead and I'll turn on our yields, of course. So looks like we're spawning the bottom of the map. I'm actually okay with that because we'll probably be able to conquer up towards the north. We have sheep here. We also have silver. Silver gives you gold and food in all settlements, which would be nice. I specifically want to find gold because I want to have a lot of happiness. Salt here is good too because that'll give us production towards training units. I'm going to very quickly, I'll pick up my... Ooh, actually, hang on. So this is what I'm talking about. You can now go... If your biggest complaint about Civ is the UI and just absolutely how massive everything is, specifically like, you know, if you go ahead and like this menu is just massive, what you can do here is you can go to options and the UI scaling is now functional. So I can scale down the UI to be something a little bit more comparable to what you'll see in like Civ 6. Obviously you can go ahead, you can change all of your graphical settings as well. You know, if you could play it, if you have a big like 4K monitor, you can play on 4K. You can set the UI to be absolutely tiny. So, you know, like if you're not a streamer, specifically, like if you just have like a 4K monitor and you really want to see like what things look like, if you don't care about like how tiny everything is, it is possible, right? So, but what you can do also, I don't know why you could actually make the UI bigger. Look how big this UI is. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to do that. So this is separate from font scale, by the way. But I'm going to set this to about 75% because this is kind of where I feel is comfortable for me. So I'm also going to go ahead and make sure the graphics are set to 1440p just so my PC is going to be nice. And my PC can handle 4K, but when it's streaming, I try to pull down the settings a little bit. So anyways, so this means like when you see all of your resources with your cities, it's a lot easier to manage. There's a lot less scrolling up and down. It's just a really, really big kind of quality of life improvement. And I think it's going to really just save the majority of the UI complaints that most players have with the game. And again, I just want to highlight it because it's like very specifically something I brought up to Firaxis and they did it. That's awesome. And they did it kind of quickly, too. There's also new music, by the way, for each age. I am going to keep the music... actually, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to turn the music on now. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. I hate that that's a thing. And I'm trying to get my next action key to work. Keyboard and mouse, next action... There we are. All right, cool. So we're gonna start with the scout now. The radiance of the... I can see we have a goody hut right next to us, by the way. So and one up this way. I'm gonna prioritize going up north. I still like going double scout here. And then we're gonna choose a technology. So in terms of see with the UI scale, you can actually see the entire tech tree here. This is actually even smaller than I thought it'd be. So like if you had the normal UI and you go to the tech and then you have this little scroll bar here, right? I think when it comes to governments is kind of the big part, and we'll show that in a little bit, but... And this is, of course, completely customizable, so... we're going to open up the... We have animal husbandry bonuses we're going to want here, so things like the... Saw pit gives... Oh, no. Pastures will improve our wool, right? Improved by pasture. Yeah, so we're going to open up pottery here. Pottery will give us access to the brickyard, so that's production on clay pits, mines, and quarries. Oh, I'm sorry. Granary is already unlocked. So we're going to go animal husbandry first, just to unlock the saw pit, so that we can improve some of these sawmills here. You'll notice, of course, the tile improvements themselves have been updated from where they were previously. Now, instead of having barely any yield on tiles like plains used to be, or tundra used to be like one production, now it's actually more equalized throughout. They don't scale per age. They just basically are equal to what they were in exploration, plus and minus a couple things. So you can see tundra now has culture on flat tiles and not just on the forest. Also, you don't get the improvements like the +1 production on like mines at masonry, +1 production on clay pits. Actually, that one's still here. +1 science, like all those type of things have been removed, which basically means the game kind of starts off right away and it's a little more smooth than it used to be. Ooh, population in the nearest settlement, but negative 100% happiness for 1 turn. I'll take that. Influence is good here, but I'll take 1 pop. So I can improve that tile immediately, and I'm actually going to go improve... I can do 2 production here, or I could do a production and culture. I really like getting to... I'm going to improve this with the granary, so I'm going to go for the farm here, because I will get food on the tundra as well, as it's a farm tile. All right, so we got double scout here. From there, I like going for a hoplite because we're playing as Greece. So I'm going to get those guys up right away. And we're going to go do a quick... Oh, let's go, dude. Food is great if bait yields are higher. Absolutely. We have the redwood forest, dude. Oh, and we unlocked Iceland. Dude, let's go. Okay, so the redwood forest will give you +1 culture and science on improvements on vegetated terrain. So you'll notice also these breathtaking tiles with happiness. They'll also have science and culture, food and production. Oh, they're going to be so good. All right, we're going to rush settling that as soon as possible. And we also want to keep an eye out for continent splits. Ooh. Oh, we found Troy. Alexander. Oh, shoot. I almost forgot. +1 culture on your palace and city halls, as well as +5 combat strength against independent powers. We're going to try to level up our commanders very early, so that we can go ahead and do a quick expansion and then transition right into a war. We can do gold. We can do production here. We're actually at 3 population. I want to immediately pop down my granary. I can even go ahead and do my production bonus to shave a turn off of that. Because we're about to actually get to 5 population very quickly. So Troy, we're not going to befriend. We're just going to attack them, level up. They are, of course, hostile. They're barbarians. Hey, Flapjack. And, yeah, we're going to have a very, very fast settle here, by the way. So, because you see, we're at... oh, actually, yeah, we're at 3 population. Next turn will grow. So we'll be at 4, and the building will finish. So we'll be at 5 population immediately, which is fantastic. My scout wants to grab that goody hut, so we're going to go up that way. And then I'm going to try to explore towards our... northeast as well. I'm assuming this is going to be coastline over here. I got to figure out what direction we're going to be expanding. So we got animal husbandry right away. Let's go for pottery next, so I can unlock my warehouse buildings. We don't really have clay pits here. So, but I also don't need these buildings. Let's go. Honestly, actually, sailing might be good here because if you go sailing, your scouts can get goody huts that are on the water. So even though we're not going for the sailing buildings, I don't need the other buildings just yet. But that might actually help me out in terms of getting extra goodie huts. And also keeping my scouts alive, because it's often very hard to do that. All right, cool. Yep, 5 population already. Immediately go for a settler. It is turn 7, and we're already building a settler. That's great. I'm also going to go ahead and grab the salt, because you'll see the salt gives 20% production towards all units. That includes civilian units. So even though we have 12 production, my settler, which is going to be 25 production, will have a 20% bonus to that. So that's going to be another, like, almost 3 production towards the settler. Augustus is nerfed. 15% gold towards purchasing buildings. Oh! Double if that building is present in your capital. That used to be 50%, wasn't it? There wasn't a doubling before. Interesting. Well, Augustus was very strong. That's probably okay. All right. I'm going to immediately go for... You could go mysticism for your pantheon. You can go discipline. You can go for the Greek things here. I'm going to go straight for discipline. Because I'm going to pump out my military very early. And we're going to go Classical Republic here, because I am a military conquest wonder building leader. So let's go for that. You can see where our tradition and policy slots. I'm going to immediately run the charismatic leader, so I can get that. Yeah, I'm going to do that so I can get to my commander fast. Augustus is wrecked. Yeah, he was pretty good before. You get a migrant or a hoplite. Oh, hoplite. Hoplite is 15 production. My production's already 12 plus salt, which means hoplites are basically like one-turn builds. But oh, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab the migrant here, because the migrant, it takes what, 5 turns to grow right now. My hoplites are going to be able to be cranked out in like a turn. So I think that's actually more efficient for me. And I'm going to grab the silver right away, because again, silver gives us gold and food. Go to our Empire resources. You can see they're going to collect up it this way. Again, so they did a bunch of UI stuff. They made the Empire resources like smaller in the first place, but also being able to scale the UI has made that actually much smaller. Ooh. We got Frederick Oblique of Prussia, who is our neighbor. So he's Prussian, which means he's not going to have a unique unit by default because he's a modern age civ. I can't rely on that in being the only reason why we should attack him, because he can syncretize other units from this age, including legions. But we'll have to see. I'm going to not do a hostile yet. I'm not going to do a happy either. I'm just going to do a basic meeting. But you can see we can get military aid, we can get cultural endeavors. Hopefully we do that with a different leader. But Augustus or Frederick could be someone to attack. He is a leader that gets +1 command radius on his commanders. He gets free infantry for tech masteries. He might have a lot of military, but he dislikes civs with a greater number of military units than him, and he dislikes civs with a smaller number of military units than him. We'll see which one if he likes or hates us, but we can see there's more. There's a militaristic city-state over here. I might actually want to befriend them. Military city-states could be really good for us. I'm doing a quick search here. Yeah, okay. Because we're going sailing, my scout will be able to go up this way, too. So, all right. I immediately want to go over this way, settle the woods here. And I think 1, 2, 3. I guess we're just going to settle right here on this tile. There's a really good monument there. Or no. Yeah, right here's a good monument. I have good coastal tiles, coastal access. It's not fresh water, but honestly, it'll be fine. And yeah, you can see we have 14 production, but with the salt, it's easily over 15. Hoplites are only 15 production, so we're going to start spamming hoplites. And then also some slingers and get a whole military out quickly. I'm going to step into the woods, too. We are playing the new, we're playing the new map type. Fractal continents, specifically. Yeah, you can see we get our guys out very quickly. Sailing next turn, so I'm going to wait a turn. I'm just going to sail across that little waterway. And then I need to specifically know where to send my next settler at. I will befriend these guys, because military states are going to help me out a lot this conquest. You see, because we have, yeah, so let me know if you guys how you feel about the UI. I could have it be the full scale, so you can see things like the combat bonuses a little bit easier. But of course, when it comes to things like the policies and stuff, we might have to play around with it. I actually don't want to attack yet. I want to get my commander. I'm actually going to back up a second. And we're going to go conquer, you like it bigger? Okay. I think they also just made some things smaller in general at the default level. So let's go up to pottery here. Let's give it production our clay pits. Again, we don't need that quite right away, but the brickyard could be good. And getting up to, I think, a writing at the start will help unlock all these other techs. All right, 2 turns for our discipline. And we're going to have, like, a huge military already. I'm going to add 2 slingers and then straight into a settler. Still looking for goody huts. Ooh, independent power being lured away. Take me there. Looks like... Oh. Frederick's already trying to befriend them. I'm going to have to spend more influence on getting them on my side. That's actually a really good tip from that advisor. You think they did too? Yeah, I think because when I was play testing before, it was like definitely felt like it was needed, but it looks like some of these things have been adjusted. It could also just be because I'm playing in 1440p. If this becomes an issue later, we'll adjust. But yeah, okay, yeah, 4K, it feels really big. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. So if you want to play at 4K, but also bring down the UI back to a normal scale, so that like the yield ribbon isn't so massive, that's what it was. And then also I need to look at continent splits here. Okay, no continent split yet. Oh, that's a problem. Well, that's a bummer. I could actually get a quick scout out, like one more scout too. Or I could just buy the scout. I do want to know what's down here. Yeah, they're boxing me out here. Let's get +1 movement on my scouts as well. And +1 sight. Always love that. Oh, dude, look at all that gold. 1, 2, 3 gold. 4 gold. That's going to be 4 golden happiness in every settlement. Which basically offsets the bonus for not having fresh water. I believe fresh water is 5 happiness. But still. All right, army commander is going to come in. Get our slinger forward. I need to get my scout down here. Yeah, so maybe I do want to have a town down here. For some of these resources my capital can't grab. And I can send another guy this way in a second. Actually, no, you can go up. We'll just kill it. Yeah, he's defended, so it's okay. So, mysticism here. I can get my Pantheon quickly. Oh, I am in this fight, though. Maybe I'm going to go over here towards the Greek. 50% towards initiating progress and befriending independent powers. That might actually help me beat, win this city-state race. So we'll add some influence here. It'll be 8 turns for me to become suzerain, 10 for him. So either way, that city-state will be a city soon. I could also use it as just something to conquer and get experience, but we'll see. So we're getting our settler out now. 14 production, but again, you can one-turn all these units, right? The salt is actually very helpful here. And I think I could actually buy 1 more military unit. We got 1, 2, 3. Buy one more slinger here. Then we have 3 and 3. We should be good. So yeah, if you really hated playing in 4K and the UI was freaking insanely massive, like look at the yield ribbon here. This is okay for things like playing on mobile or even playing on the Switch, but like this UI is absolutely ridiculous to play on PC. So the ability to scale is a big deal, a very big deal. All right, we're going to bring our commander up. We're going to start attacking here. And we get our first kill as well. Fantastic. And we go settle immediately. Awesome. See, oh, there's a goodie hut down here. So yeah, let's go find that goodie hut. Your add-on screen is disabled. You can't find add-ons. Flapjack, go to Steam and fully unsubscribe to your mods. It might just be a conflict with the mods that are already downloaded because the add-on screen should work. Okay, but yeah, this is what we're seeing. It's hard to predict what's happening on this fractal continents map. We might only have one neighbor. We might have two. Hopefully we have two. But of course, we know where Frederick is. We found a new continent. Ah, to the north. So Nuna. So this is a very big continent. There's going to be a lot. I need to go conquesting very far. So I'm going to need forward settling this direction very heavily. And at this point, I can settle my first town. Mackinac. Fantastic. So you'll notice we're getting Greek town names, but Alex has a special ability. Because Alexander had a little bit of an ego, towns converting into cities are renamed after Alex. So even though we have Greek towns, when we make cities, they'll be specifically like Alexandria or other Macedonian cities named after Alex, which I think is actually, I mean, it's all flavor, but it is very cool. I enjoy that. All right, my hoplites will be able to make quick work of city-state units, by the way, because of the +5. All right, so you'll notice here that I want to try to prioritize our appealing tiles to improve, right? Because appealing tiles generate happiness, specifically breathtaking tiles. But you'll notice here, let's see, my farms give a little bit because of our granary. But also, sawmills are just good. If you'll notice, how yields are generated on our tile depends on the tile. So you have a flat tundra tile, which is production and culture. You get food from the granary here. But tundra rough is 2 production. Forest is a feature. It is separate. So you'll notice this is a this is a flat tundra tile. This is also a flat tundra tile, but it has woods on it, so it has an extra food on it. By putting a sawmill on it, you'll have even more production, but you're just going to have really, really good tiles in any of your vegetation, pretty much anywhere. So going for, this is actually something that another content creator by Scrash on YouTube, if you've seen any of his recent videos, I meant to share it in my Discord. Sawmills are actually going to be very good, and that is not because sawmills themselves, it's just because the tile, how woods either give it an additional food or additional production depending on the terrain type. They're just good. So I'm going to try to prioritize improving my wood tiles here, specifically these breathtaking ones too. No more instant walls on the AI. Yes, Bob. So deity difficulty no longer gives free walls to four free walls to cities and 1 free wall to like all towns on the deity AI. Now, of course. I forget exactly how it works out now, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Of course, they need to unlock masonry in the first place, but yeah, it's way better. What did they change? They just don't get the free walls immediately. Ooh, okay. So let's look at this. 2 food, 1 production, 2 happiness, breathtaking tile, woods tile, And now, because we have the redwoods in it, it has science and culture as well. Dude, I need a sawmill in here ASAP. Fantastic. And we're gonna get our first class of Republic. We love the assembly day culture boost here, and run even more culture. This is another reason why I like going for discipline first, because getting survey out on your scouts is such a big deal. Having 3 movement in all of this division, like we found the city-state. It would have taken me another full turn to find that city-state, but because +1 movement and +1 sight, we found them this turn. Of course, as the Greeks, we want to befriend them quickly, right? Before the AI does, so it's a big deal. Still better than having always infinity walls. Yeah, that was the one thing I hate about deity the most. The 8 combat strength modifier deity gets, I don't mind. I think they need it because there's so many combat bonuses. The free walls drove me crazy though. So let's go for writing here. Oh, it's either we go writing and get a library, or we go irrigation and go for another settler. I think I'm gonna go with irrigation and get that settler out because, I mean, we should, right? Before I do that, we're at 15 production. That's actually great. Let's get the brickyard. We'll finish a quarter, get science and culture as well. And then this settler needs to decide where they're going to go. I could go over here. There's actually 2 iron over here, which has been good for conquest for my hoplites. There's all of this gold out this way. I need to know the continent split because having cities on the other continent will be good for my production and culture bonus, but it's not looking like that's going to be an immediate bonus, to be honest. I think we're just going to go ahead and settle a decent settlement so I can grab... If I incorporate these guys, I grab this iron. There's a bunch of mountains here, which is good for culture. There's gold. There's wool up this way. Honestly, I'm just going to settle here on this tile. This will grab iron, crabs, jade. And there's mountains nearby. There's actually good science tiles. Yeah, we'll just go for there for now. And then I'm going to start getting my slingers deployed. Of course, we went for the assault promotion tree, so they can move and shoot, or they can come in and shoot at the same turn. And we can even do a focus fire here. And then, yeah, so +2 for King of the World, +2 for adjacent hoplite, and +5 against independence. 29 combat strength already. It's pretty decent, eh? Yeah, I want to get some quick experience on this guy. And goody cut. Oh! Well, I'm poor, so let's get the food. Don't forget you need rough terrain for unique buildings. Yes, thank you. So my unique buildings need to be on rough terrain. Specifically, if we look at Greek, the Acropolis, specifically the Parthenon, if you put it on a rough terrain, you get 2 culture, or 2 influence. But the Odeon gets 1 culture for adjacent quarters. How do you be adjacent to a lot of quarters? Try to have it next to your city center. Right, so right here could be a good place where it's next to a city center and can be placed to other quarters. Here's not bad either. I could put a bunch of quarters right here, but settling for those. So this settlement, my snake, could put one here. If it's a city, this is probably going to be a city. It's going to be big. And then, of course, I'm probably going to ignore the continent split stuff for a little bit just because of this map. But especially in the exploration, we'll see it pop up a lot. All right, so we got that building, our first quarter done. You can see our science and culture from that. And let's go for another settler. So settling here, this settlement needs a rough terrain tile. Well, it only needs a rough terrain tile if it's going to be a city, right? If we're going to try to build an Acropolis. Towns don't need to have the rough terrain, so... And that's definitely going to be a town. All right, so science and culture here. Very good. It's funny that the Wonder itself doesn't produce science and culture on its own tiles, but it is vegetated terrain, right? Goody hut. Yeah, and yeah, sailing start really keeping my scouts alive. Ursa Ryan has been talking about the sailing opening for a while now, and honestly, yeah, I agree. It's good, even if you don't need it. All right, let's just get a quick kill here, and we can actually take Troy out immediately. get some influence, specifically get another promotion. That's actually 2 promotions here. So we get route for combat strength for infantry, and we'll get the shock tactics assault 3 for cavalry. I know Fraxis also mentioned at some point they're gonna look into reworking how military units work, right? Because migrant or hoplite. Let's actually go for another hoplite. Maybe I should have went for migrant. It's 6 turns for a population, but it's 1 turn for a hoplite. All right, maybe I should have went migrant there. They're talking about at some point they're gonna redo, or they're gonna mix up how infantry work. That's not for this update, of course, but specifically because cavalry are just better, right? They have more movement, more combat strength, more modifiers. So keep an eye out for a military update sometime in the future. Oh, yeah, so he's trying to befriend the city-state again. I need to actually befriend and skip another turn. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be too quick. Don't see any big change of the triumphs. So, okay, let's actually talk about triumphs now, right? This is another thing, right? This is another thing where the UI scaling is actually a really big deal, right? Because, like, look how many triumphs you can fit on the screen when you have the scale, like, way down. Let's go ahead. I'm going to set this back to 75 for 4K. But you can see here, yeah, look, 75%, you can fit 3 and 3, 3 and 3. This is actually way more organized. But, so we're of course going to be playing a very militaristic game here. So if we conquer 6 settlements, we'll get a 2 settlement limit. That's a big deal. One thing they did change was 4 corners of the world. Settling 8 settlements no longer gives you settlement limit, whether it's +2 or +1. It now instead gives you towns gain additional 2 population on their first growth event. So I think this is great. This means, like, having that last turn, like 8 settlements at the end of antiquity, is no longer going to be required. You only get settlement limit by conquering here, and I think that's a good deal. You're going to see a lot bigger triumph changes, Bob, when it comes to the next 2 ages. I will let you know that. I think antiquity has had the longest time for them to work on, but this is what I'm talking about for dedications. They knew the last time the dedications need to be stronger than they were in the actual feature workshop, because like some of these bonuses are actually pretty good now. So +1 food on food warehouses and 2 food on food buildings, Tower of Babel, pretty decent, right? Silk Roads, gain 2 free merchants for free and trade route capacity with all civilizations. This is bigger. Abundance, 1 resource capacity in all settlements. So these things have been getting better. They are stronger than they were in the last playtest. However, some of them, I would argue, are game-changing. Unlock piety, 25% towards constructing temples. This means you get your first religion. That is a very big bonus. That is a game-changing bonus, right? But while some other bonuses are like not really game-changing at all, right? What a Gaius is a free armor commander with 3 promotions. That, you know, it kind of just is more of the same. Right, unlocking astronomy means you get the first fleet commanders, but you also unlock observatories early. I like that bonus, but things like this: Library of Ashburnapal display 12 codices, not 10, 12. Great work slots on science buildings. 2 science from displayed great works. So this has actually changed quite a bit. Before it was you get a great work slot on your city hall if you had a science building last age. It was very weird. Now it's 1 great work slot on all science buildings straight up, which means in exploration your temples will have great work slots, but your science buildings will too. Your observatories will have great work slots for relics. So that, and also you give science on your display great works. That gives you science from your cultural great works. That actually like kind of brings together a little bit more of the great work gameplay in a way that wasn't there before. I think that is nice. That's a nice adjustment. Also, the 5 non-city center districts get 30+ a year. This is 1 special limit in all cities, not just the capital. So these are stronger, right? Some of them, they're making a little bit more game defining, right? Assigning 26 resources, give you resource capacity in all settlements. This is actually very strong. But like things like Midas Touch, 8 gold, have 8 gold buildings. increases gold towards purchasing. This doesn't really change anything. This just means you have more gold. What I want to see is bonuses that change the way you play the game, right? So, like Silk Roads here giving you trade route capacity is okay, but if this Silk Roads was like your cities remain cities, or having, if there used to be one for like have like 5 cities, right? If that was, then you keep your cities in the next age. That's great. What I want to see is like things that are game changing, yes, but specifically are things that reduce what you lose next age. So we all know you lose your codices when you go for antiquity, but you go into exploration age. Well, it's great that we're getting science on additional great works, but if instead of giving us science on our relics, what if you just let us keep our codices? Let us keep our codices, right? If you keep your relics into modern age, like you already have the tourism modifier from exploration age into modern age, right? For your great works. Why not just let us keep our great works and keep the culture on them as well? You remember seeing the, getting the, like +2 science for previous codices from the last age. Well, why not just give us our great works? Why not let us keep and have a tab here so we could tab into like our codices, our relics, and our artifacts, right? That's what I want to see, right? So in terms of military, having +2 settlement, this lets you keep settlement that you wouldn't have had next stage. That's great. Having commander, gain an army commander with 3 promotion. This is a new commander that lets you keep more military in the next age. That's actually kind of a big deal. To fellow giant, -5 war renaissance on a single war, 1 war support on all wars, 50% towards war support. That actually lets you apply a lot of war support next stage. That is a little bit game changing. But what if this let you carry over? If there was a militaristic one that let you bring some of your navy from last age, right? So that they're not just immediately deleted. So you can jumpstart a military exploration conquest. That would be great, right? So, for instance, like, so I want there to be like a triumph in science that lets you keep your codices. I want there to be a, don't give me 2 free merchants for Silk Roads. Let me keep my trade routes from the next stage, right? If I have 7 trade routes, yeah, I put a lot of work in getting trade routes. Let me keep my 7 trade routes from last age. If you have something in culture, right? Let my if you build 6 altars, I mean, I like this bonus, right? This one I don't care for, right? +1 tradition slot. Oh, that's actually really good. But 2 culture for every social policy or tradition slot. This yeah, okay. Yo, wait, that's a big deal. Okay, this changed. Code of Hammurabi. This used to be +1 policy slot and culture for policies and traditions. Now it's a tradition slot. So this is effectively letting you keep a tradition slot you would have lost on the age transition, right? I want Silk Roads to let me keep my trade routes so I don't have to redo my trade routes at the top of the next stage. I want my military to let me keep more of my military. I want my science to let me keep more of my great works and my science or my science adjacencies from last stage. Honestly, the expansionist ones, founding 8 settlements, it gives me extra population on towns, sure. Why not have, hey, if you made 5 cities, keep all your cities from the next stage. There's a lot of things where there's a lot of overlap for triumph bonuses where instead of just giving us like a small bonus that is like, all right, cool, you have culture and production on wonders. Let me keep something that I would have lost on the age transition, I think is kind of where they should line up. And I hope some of them are listening and kind of agree with me, because that was some of the feedback I was kind of mewing on the last version. Obviously, this is the full update. You know, they're not going to make big changes from here, but little polish decisions they could totally make, right? So we also, of course, have all of the minor triumphs here. These are decent, right? Gain a free settler when you explore a third of the map. This used to be 2 free settlers. That was too powerful before. 1 settler feels great. Improve 1 tile from natural wonders in your homelands is 1 food on breathtaking tiles. That's great. Exploration age, discovering all natural wonders gives you +1 food on breathtaking tiles. Why not make it +2, right? little bit more here. I think could be fun here. So, but some of these are actually designed pretty well. Like completing 10 endeavors gives you 25% relationship change with all leaders, which helps you actually secure alliances, which will then also help you get to making 2 allies. In the next age will give you 5 happiness in all settlements per alliance, which means getting allies gives you happiness, which helps you on a military quest, but also helps you in any simming quests, and it also costs more to denounce. Which means it solidifies a very diplomatic playstyle, and I like that. I like how this minor triumph leads into this major triumph. I want to see more of that, right? These ones that give you like first to study philosophy or study all of civics and masteries bonuses. These are kind of almost a little bit random, right? And they don't really change the way you play. It just rewards you for already being at the end of the civic tree. But Abracadabrus, research mathematics gives you 25% production towards projects this age, which then helps you complete the capstone projects like Chart the Stars and mathematics. So this minor triumph directly leads into this major triumph. I really like that setup. I really, really like that setup. So I think the triumph system is pretty close to where it should be. I think a couple tweaks here and there could actually help a lot in really making it feel pretty awesome, though. So that's kind of where my feedback is lining up when it comes to these things. If you guys agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. Feel free to comment on the YouTube live stream. I think I have a lot of ideas spilling around how you actually implement it. I don't know. You agree with the point that retaining stuff after transitions, but I don't think keeping trade routes will work well since resources change each age. Interesting. Well, resources change, but you would just... Resources are tied to the city, so your trade route will just automatically link to the city and you'll get new resources. I think it might still work. I hear what you're saying. And obviously, I do want to preface, like, my ideas aren't always the solution. They might just be something that's addressing a feeling, and there's another solution that is similar that could address the same feeling. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there's something adjacent there that's worth looking into. The scaling cost of merchant is a big thing, too. There should be a limit to the cost, especially when you straight up lose your trade routes when declaring on have to reestablish after war. Flapjack, that's a huge thing. The fact that your trade routes, your merchants aren't refunded when a war is declared is actually really painful now that they cost so much to reestablish. That is a direct piece of feedback I have for Firaxis. If someone declares war on you, don't delete my trade routes. Refund my merchants, please. Refund my merchants. I want to send my trade routes somewhere else. If I spend all of my time focusing on my trade routes with a leader instead of another, and he declares war on me, at least let me send them to the other leader. Science and happiness. Ooh, science bonus. I'm just going to take the happiness here. I don't want my scouts to die. Also, having them sit and heal takes a very long time, and I just don't have time for that. I think you generally get more from moving around in the first place. This expansion of city-state I will want to befriend soon. Once my influence goes up, though, so we'll get that shortly. I also need a scout down here to go ahead and scout Friedrich's land, because there's a lot going on there. I can also... Ooh, look. It's funny that you can fully pack a military commander, but you can still reinforce with a commander. And if they get there, they just pop outside. It's actually a really, really nice quality of life thing. And I want to commend that a little bit. You've had games where you played 4,000 gold for a merchant. Yeah, that's absurd. There's more iron down here. Hell yeah, dude. All right, cool. Let's grab this. I'm going to immediately grab the iron. +1 combat strength on my hoplites again. That's freaking awesome, dude. These guys can heal a turn. And we're going to have to figure out where they're going next. Go a little bit inland. that goodie hut. This is about to be my next turn. Fantastic. I'll be able to use this as a springboard to attack as well. And we have a settler coming out next turn. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, end the merchant cruelty. There we go. So, Gethudia is now our city-state. So, there's a lot of bonuses we could pick here. I have a lot of thoughts about how city-states work. I think they I still like Civ 6 city-states, where each one had a unique bonus instead of picking, but we'll see. Willie McBride, I'm overwhelmed with all of the things. That is actually fantastic feedback, Willie. The biggest problem with Triumphs is that it's so overwhelming to see all of this. This is why Legacy Paths had one pathway in the past. But players want to play a lot more of a sandboxy version, right? But I think the biggest change actually has to do with less of the amount of quests here. It's that you can only pick 3. So like for this game, I want to play militaristically, right? So let me go get a level 8 commander. I think I could actually do that pretty well. If I could do Pax Imperatoria, I would. It's really hard to do it on online speed, but we can try for it. But I want to play not just a military game today, right? Because it's Alexander the Great. He's a militaristic, cultural, and also Greece diplomatic. So there's some games where you are like, hey, I want to be militaristic, but I also want to be very cultural. So let's get the first to have 6 altars. I'll try to grab that. Or obviously, like Building Wonders is Alex's whole thing, but 7 is actually a lot. So, but I could probably get this one. And then diplomatically, I would also like to get a bonus for diplomacy. So complete espionage, become citizen of 4 city-states. That's actually very online with Greece. So 2 influence and happiness on your palace for every city-state you're citizen of could be a good bonus. And I'll say what's in progress here, or not in progress. What is first tracked? All right, and there it is, my 3 triumphs. They also pop up over here, so I can keep track of them while I'm playing. But we're gonna try to get 4 city-states, 6 altars, and a level 8 commander. And there'll be a nice mix of a military, diplomatic, and cultural game. Instead of just playing like a military victory, which I think is kind of cool. Ooh, another wonder. Ooh, influence or production and food. Actually, influence is really good here because I need to get more city-states on my side. All right, so we have a springboard here. We'll be able to attack him. I generally like to wait to at least bronze working to attack the AI because they have a +8 modifier, right? It's kind of absurd. But my next settler, I'm kind of eyeing up all of this up here. There's cotton, there's sheep, there's gold, there's cotton could be in Mycenae. I actually really like this tile here, so I'm going to send them all the way out this way. And, yeah. So, let me bring my commander over here. And then in 2 turns, I'll be able to switch my policies. Excuse me. So, we're getting a lot of science and culture from our vegetated terrain, but there's also cotton up here to grab. Oh, I really like the yield. All right, I will go for cotton soon, but let me grab that last vegetated terrain tile first. Oh, hello, boat. Troy. Okay, we'll have to deal with Troy. Troy still has a boat here. I could actually buy a boat. Didn't I have sailing? Yeah, I need to get a harbor, though. Okay. Should be able to do that. So, in terms of our suzerain bonus, there's a few things you can do here. Hill forts will be great for production, but also culture victory. You can get +1 combat strength for infantry units for every city-state you're citizen of. You can also get a settlement limit. So conquering a lot of cities or settling as well. Hegemon, let's go for that because I do want to have a lot of settlements between conquering and from settling because we have a lot of open land here. So we'll see what we can get. My unique buildings can start being built, but let me go for another settler. Right, because we're about to get another settlement at irrigation. We have our first diplomatic point. So I could go influence here, or I could go happiness. Happiness on my city hall specifically, because we're doing a lot of conquest, could be good here. But I want to get to initiating and befriending independent powers. I really like on conquest games going down the happiness side. The influence is great, but I think 1 influence is fine, but 1 happiness on all of your settlements is actually way stronger than just one influence. Because, right, we have 3 settlements. That's 3 happiness compared to 1 influence. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The game's running great, though. Ooh. Yikes. I don't like that. So, let me get my commander. Oops. That stings. I'm going to buy 1 more slinger. And we're just going to deal with this boat the old-fashioned way with range units. And I will keep some military up here just so that my settler doesn't run into anything scary. And I need to come down here to explore his land. I will get open borders with him quickly, but I will actually start moving to sanctioning and denouncing him eventually. Oh, he said no. He already doesn't like me. We share government, but he doesn't like me for his leader agenda, and we won the race to a city-state suzerain, which is this guy. Yeah, he hates me for that. Okay, cool. We're going to fight him. He's settling up this way. We'll definitely have a fun conquering him. First... Oh, Pantheon time. All right. Hang on. First, I need to drop my slinger. And I need to do a focus fire here. I'll take care of this boat. Yeah. I'm not worried about him. If he had this city-state and declared war, I'd be worried. But because we have the city-state, I'm not worried about him hurting me. I'll be the one hurting him. To be a hero, Alexander listens as a bard recites the story of the great Achilles, so beloved of the gods, his might, his rage, that most feared warrior who stalked the fields of Troy. And we did stalk the fields of Troy. Troy is actually dead. Yet too did he sing the grievous of Patroclus, and the sweet fate of long life tempted even him. So he was a hero because of his valor. Have a commander with 3 promotions. We'll give his production on our altars. We're gonna go for that because we already have that. Oh, that's actually a big deal. Sick, dude. And then I have this settler. I could actually settle for this town down here. The wool actually would be pretty good. Or I could settle up towards the north. There's jade, there's gold. Actually, I could settle where Troy was and grab this gold. And actually, they'll build a nice road. I could also settle here next to the mountains. Gold, dates, Colin, gold, volcano, mountains. Yeah, actually, that feels really good right there. Also, access to the bay. A lot of good stuff here. We're gonna grab jade as well. Now, jade, of course, gives you, was it 10% gold in a settlement? But this only had 2. So it's literally 0.1. This will get better later with time. But you'll notice we can drag and drop now. That's a big deal. I really, really like drag and drop. It actually isn't buggy anymore, too. And all of the... You hear that? All of the resources have sound effects now, too, which is a kind of a cute little fun... bonus. I think it's going to help with just satisfaction a little bit. Do we lose a pop when building a settler now? Not that I am aware of. Because population is quite literally just the number of improvements and the number of buildings you have in a settlement. So if you go to your city, you'll notice your population here, 8 citizens, is equal to 1, 2, 3. Hang on. It should tell me where my population breakdown is. Nope, that's a mod. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 improvements. So 5 rural population, and we have 3 buildings. That's 3 rural population. There is no such thing as losing a pop when you build a settler like in Civ 6. There is no such thing as stopping growth when you build a settler like in Civ 5. It is just, it's completely separate. Your plantation was pillaged. That would lose population. Yep. Oh, he wants to hinder my research. I hate that. I really hate that, but at the end of the day, it's what, 1.4 science? Yeah, this is why I didn't want him to hate me early on. I hate having to deal with this, but hang on. I do need to plug in the policy card for my first tradition. You'll notice here the UI here, you'll see there's icons for policies, but there's also icons for traditions. So you'll see which of those you can plug in and which ones you can't. We'll plug in priesthood as well. And initiating befriending independent power so that I can see I can befriend these guys this turn. And is this actually on the continent? It's on a new continent. I might actually incorporate them as well. Or do I kill them? No, they're expansionists. I want them. All right, that also leaves me 30 influence left, so I'm going to actually reject his science penalty. And I'm going to go here and just search. There's Berlin, because, right, he's playing as Prussia. And now that we're here, let me go for... let's go actually code a law so we can get our free merchant. So I can trade here with the city-state. Pantheon time. All right. So there's a bunch of pantheons we could pick with Alexander. I think there's some of them by default, like the city patron goddess is taken. That's actually good for influence. Monument to the gods is production towards wonders, though. That would actually help you build wonders in cities and actually lean into his abilities quite well. There's other things like Stone Circles is here, and we have a lot of rough terrain because we're playing as Greece, which could be good. But I think for the sake of just trying new things, I'm going to do Monument to the Gods here. Monument to the Gods here. Because I like trying new things in different games. It may not be the best choice, but I think it's the fun one right now. All right, and then of course, let me also build out my saw pit. I want to put that here. And then also probably we'll put an altar with the saw pit there. That'll actually leave room for our unique quarter here as well. Let me actually go and turn the music down a little bit. So I can bring that back up. There we go. All right. Well, that's a problem. Let me try to sneak through there without getting too hurt. Yep. All right, cool. Take care of that boat, and then we'll move out. Oh, that's bad. I really wanted to get through there. He's going to get hit again. So I'm going to have to step. If I step here, he'll get hit, but he'll be on the river. If I step here, he'll get hit, but he'll be in the woods, so he might live. All right, let me see. There's a breathtaking tile here, so I'm going to grab that. Also, getting that saw pit will give me production on those. That'll be great. And let me go up towards the cotton next. Hinder military production. I will accept that. I'm actually not building military right now, so that's not a big deal. And then I think we're going to go up to writing, so I can get my libraries down. All right, we got a quick little shot here. That's almost done. Yeah, the music's really loud, isn't it? Set it to 30. There we go. Ooh, he almost got hit twice. Oh, he did get hit twice. I'm bad at math. All right, poor scout, rip scout, poured out for scout. Right, scout. Scouts, my dog Scout's laying right next to me. And he's denouncing me. That's fine. I actually want to be a negative relationship with him anyways. I will make him regret that someday. Oh, he's trying to cut my slinger. All right, I'm going to have those guys heal, but I need to start moving my military in position to attack him. Postum can definitely be taken easily. Yep, and we're going to look into more things. All right, making of a name. Across the battlefield, Alexander charges first in line to strike terror in his enemy hearts. One by one they fall, the few survivors carrying word of a great king and his overwhelming might. A tremor of fear ripples across the landscape. Claim their land, the gods will it. Capture someone you did not found will give you a militaristic attribute point. Absolutely. I'm going to set that as a quest for us. And I'll keep an eye on different wonders to build soon. But for now, I'm still just take the cultural boost. And I put in the survey card again because I want to keep my scouts alive. That scout has to go around. You started a new game with the update. Is it good so far? Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the update right now. It is the single biggest update since the game has launched, and it had a freaking like 3-month playtesting cycle with 3 different rounds. And it directly addresses a ton of the primary concerns people had with the game from the launch. So it's a pretty good deal, I'd say. Ooh, we got some gold here. It's also a breathtaking tile. So it's 2 happiness to that town, and we get 1 golden happiness in all of our settlements, which currently is 4, about to be 5. So good deal. Good deal. All right, a couple more goody heads. I haven't found anyone else on this continent yet. Again, new map type, a little bit hard to predict. What civ would you recommend for Frederic? Which Frederic are you playing? I think either one, though. I think his historical tie is going to be Prussia. So it's going to be very fun to play him with Prussia throughout the entire game. You get combat bonuses for... Where are you? Combat bonuses for having negative relationships, which is hilarious. Leaders. Frederic. So one has a boost to culture and great works, and the other one has a boost to his commanders and science. I'm a big fan of this one, Oblique, because science is everything in the game. And also the commander radius just means he's very beginner friendly as well. If you want, oh look, the area of Roman's called Germania. That's funny, and he leads Prussia. I would say Prussia. If you want to play one civ through all 3 ages, play as Prussia. If you want to play the civ transitioning, you can always play as Rome and then transition into other leaders as well. But Prussia is definitely the one he's designed for. So, all right, I'm gonna start getting my unique quarter out because that's gonna be some good culture there. Ooh. Convince the players to tour Athenia. 30 culture for 25 gold? Yeah, I'll take that. Alright, I'm gonna go here. Oh, there's someone there. But these guys should be friendly in about 4 turns. Yeah, so not too worried about that. I just want to save influence for befriending this city-state. Again, we want 4 city-state friends. Oh, he's getting attacked. Nice. All right, we'll also get a nice little influence bonus here as well. And let's grab that cotton. Very good. That can be immediately plugged into our capital to get a 25 production. Fantastic. Mycenae could also probably be a candidate for a city soon. Oh, at the very least, needs to get the saw pit. So let's buy that up here. Give me additional... Look at these tiles, dude. 2-2-1-1-2 tiles. Can you imagine saying that in Civ 6? A 2-2-1-2-2 tile. All right, we're going to go over to the crabs as well. Saw pits, dude. Saw pits. Saw pits are a big deal because that's going to give you more gold. Let's go for Agoge here so we can get our Parthenon. This also gives you combat strength for infantry units for each city-state you're suzerain of. Again, why we want a lot of city-states. Post-Em, part of the Prussian Empire, is overflowing with valuable commodities. You know, I didn't actually select an advisor. Why are you telling me this? It must be because of my tutorial settings. Yeah, advisor warnings. Oh, we'll keep it on for now. Ooh, another city-state. Hey, Trung Track is in the game. Fantastic. Good to know. I love that they added the face of the the suzerain leader to the city-states. That helped a lot. And here, we're gonna go settle this settlement. It's on freshwater. That's fantastic. I can immediately grab the... we're just grab the fishing boat here. Okay, he's being attacked by the city-state. That's hilarious. All right, we'll let everyone heal up. Get our military moved around. We, of course, can set up trade routes. I can set up to Frederick, but I don't want to do that. It will increase our relationship. And we'll lose the trade route if we declare war. So I'm going to go straight to the city-state here. Fantastic. So we're at 5 out of 5 settlements. By the end of the age, you should be able to unlock 8. We got an extra run from the city-state, so I'll be able to conquer his 3 cities and settle even 1 more without going over the settlement limit, which will be interesting. There it is, Tongue Track. I definitely want to be friends with her because I want to ask her for specifically these endeavors. So I want her to start... when we go to war, I'm going to want to get the military one for sure. I have a defenseless settlement. Yeah, take me there. That's fine. I'll buy a slinger in Thabai to deal with that issue. But with her, I want to send her a cultural exchange, which she accepts. Very good. And, yeah. Yeah, awesome. I want to grab that goody hut. Let's also get open borders with her, just to improve our relationship, but also so I can step onto the land here. Get away from that. Now, I could also try to levy a couple units from the city-state, if I so choose. But we'll see.
The spoken word conquers all.
You're about to start a new game. What else is good with Tubman besides the Mayans? Ooh, how about you try playing with America from Antiquity now? Playing America is so fun. You get so much gold early on. All right, we got bronze working. Let's go up to, or we got writing. Let's go bronze working. Or let's go writing mastery. I need to get steel tech and also the free codex. And then I need to build my libraries out. So we have a +2 there. We have a +2 next to this quarter though as well. So let me actually put it. I'm gonna put it up here. Oh, there's a codex. Awesome. Let's grab the incense as well. And I'm gonna move my wool down to a town so I can plug in incense. I'm actually gonna plug in my cotton to Mycenae because that's definitely gonna be a city. Good, yep. Food or gold? Let's go get gold. I'm low on gold. I need to start saving gold for my upgrades too. I don't like that, but he's almost dead. Now, do I actually send one more settler in the middle here? There's jade and silver. No, I don't think so. Yeah, America is a ton of fun. You should definitely try America. Oh, reinforcements arrived. Please don't kill my scouts. There are +1 combat strength for every city-state you're Suzanov will be a fantastic card for us to run. You see we have 2 tradition slots now. So we're going to run that. Get out of there. Now, of course, I just want to get my military like positioned in a good spot. Mycenae, we're going to try to get into a city. I'm going to buy the granary to keep it growing. And then 150 gold will make a city soon. Ooh, a cultural attribute. Nice. And that means I can get 10% production towards wonders now. Which means I can start looking at building wonders soon. Probably the next Probably on the next celebration, which is in, look, 1 turn. Fantastic, dude. Awesome. So we have a narrative choice here. Siege tactics. This is actually great. The Protractorate War is subject to much debate among the Shadigoi. The time has come, some say, for more advanced formations to pressure the enemy. Others draw up sophisticated ambush plans as alternatives. So we can get the Determined ability, which gives 2 combat strength on hoplites, or build a wooden horse, giving us +1 movement on our hoplites. Both these are really good. In open terrain, the +1 movement is great. There's going to be a lot of woods, though. I'm going to try to keep my hoplites in formation with my archers. So I think just going to 2 combat strength here is probably the better play for me. But the movement is a really good pick as well if you wanted to play that way. Horse. Bob wants horse. Yeah, so looking at the terrain, though, like, the rough terrain will still end your movement. There are roads here, though. I don't know. I like moving with, like, one front line. We'll see. It is deity. They have 8 combat strength, so you need to get onto that. Here's the thing I want to point out, though. So there's actually a lot of new things that are in the tech and civic trees. For instance, getting tourism from celebrations, you have to unlock with entertainment. It's not immediately unlocked. You don't get tourism from celebrations until you unlock it. So they've done things to reduce the amount of free stuff. You get like free tourism from celebrations. It now has to be unlocked through the civic tree specifically. I know they did the same thing when it comes to like tourism from breathtaking tiles in Modern Age. That has to be unlocked in the civic tree now. But you'll notice here, so there's that. You can also see there's also icons for innovation points. There's icons for getting, so +1 GDP per turn for imported resources to cities is in the civic tree, while getting GDP from the gold billings is unlocked in currency, and GDP from resources assigned to cities is also unlocked in the wheel. So you need the science and culture to unlock your GDP points, as well as some additional tourism points, and of course your science points as well. All right, so we can go ahead. We could do bonuses to endeavors. There's actually the Oracle I would like to unlock soon, as well as a tradition slot here. So let's go for that. This slinger is going to remain up here. I do want to get ready to attack soon. I also do want to try to steal tech soon. But you don't want to attack too early, right? You have to actually be ready for it. Go get that road built. Oh, we're going to have tons of hoplites, though, ready. So, military aid. I will actually support this. That's fantastic for us to give. And here's a wonder production boost. So, let's grab that. I'm going to run the oratory card again to influence... Or actually, let's take out the combat strength. I don't need that yet. Instead, I'll run the science. I'm very low on science and production. And let's get our first wonder. The Hanging Gardens is available to build in our capital. So let's go ahead and drop that pretty much anywhere. I would like to put it next to a quarter that would benefit. If I put it here, I can put a monument between it as well. Yeah, let's do that. And then Mycenae could probably be a city. I want to make that a city before I upgrade my military.
We look up.
Oh, Mount Everest. So there's 2 more wonders to get. So I'm going to try to go with my city-state attacking this guy. I don't want that city-state to kill Postum, though. I don't think they will. They're friendly. Nope. They're friendly with me, but hostile with him. That's hilarious. Oh, we lost the wonder. So I don't build wonders, dude. Oh, man. All right, cool. Let's grab another... Dude, look at that tile. Let's grab the crabs. Definitely want to plug that. Actually, want to plug that into... probably my next town to get some food going. Mycenae. And I'm going to make that a city now. We'll go into a Parthenon instead. And let's go bronze working in 6 turns. This is why I went for the science first. That was 10 turns before, now it's 6 because I have my library and also some great works giving me science. So it was faster to go to the side. All right. I actually will go ahead. There's no wonders ready to be built over here. I'm gonna get my production up first. I'm gonna crush this reef tile because I want to keep these wood tiles around. So I might as well go out there. And now that we have a city, I can go ahead and put as a bunch of production in that city. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, possum's not going to fall yet, so we don't have to worry. All right, we'll get that merchant. Nice. This will get reinforcements up here faster, too. That gives us access to silk, which is going to be 0.8 culture. I'm going to start plugging in my stuff, all my stuff. You don't think the production towards wonders is even worth it compared to the 20% culture? The 20% culture is a big deal. Very big deal. All right, so we got a migrant from that settlement. Let's grab the gold here. And here we are. We can actually just line up my whole military in a way that we'll be able to get them upgraded easily. Oh, man. I hate that the scout's standing on the gun hit it. All right, we'll do a quick search. There's more city-states up this way, and there's another civ up here. We found Mount Everest, so we can actually see a bunch of mountains. If you find Mount Everest, you can see all the mountains on your homelands. So we can actually start seeing the shape of this continent, which is actually rather big. Nice. On D, the wonder production can matter, especially if you time in the same... Yeah, if you time things together. I think it matters that he has a production bonus towards wonders because that's how he gets the culture bonus, is by getting the wonder in the first place. So by getting a wonder, right? So investing into production bonuses that give you a wonder will give you production and culture towards everything, which is a big deal. So I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for that. We go diplomatic or we go cultural. We go diplomatic here because the next diplomatic attribute is befriending city-states for cheaper. I have my policy plugged in for befriending. And I want to find another city-state. Let's go for... we're going to go for happiness here. And this guy's being befriended already. Hey, thanks for the follow, by the way. And I'm going to save influence for the city-state up here, hopefully, because I think this guy's going to be too hard to grab. All right, we're going to grab the iron in the capital. We got a lot of fun stuff around here. Knossos. We got our harbor built. Let's go for the brickyard. The Parthenon I probably want to put... somewhere. Oh, those gardens are pretty good, though. I don't know what to do here yet. I'm just going to build a fishing key for now. And let's get the Oracle unlocked. 4 turns. We're saving gold now. And another migrant. Awesome. I'm going to put that over to Mycenae. Alexandria, Mycenae, by the way. Hey, we met Ibn Battuta. Oh, that's amazing. Let's meet him, because he'll be able to share his end of the map with us, which is amazing. Oh yeah, Champa's already taken here. So in terms of befriending city-states, yeah, what, 1, 2? It's gonna be very hard to beat her to this one. So instead, I'm gonna work on getting my relationships up with these players. And let's get a nice boost to culture, because that'll get Oracle unlocked faster. You can see we are our first unique great person. And we got Colin. Awesome. All right, move the cotton, bring in the Colin. That's 4 food in a city that's not the capital. Yo, Madish. Hey, thanks for subscribing, dude. 6 months in a row. Yeah, I've noticed a bunch of people. A few people have stayed subscribed when I've been quiet with my content lately. I appreciate you guys a ton. It means a lot. It does help. So especially when it comes to yeah, I don't know. It helps. Thank you guys so much. So let me see. What wonders do I want to unlock next after that? We'll see next turn. Gold. Saving gold for units so I can attack quickly. It's probably my main objective right now.
Right.
There we go. So befriending, initiation endeavors. There. Goody huts on the water. Awesome. 200 gold. All right. Let's go up to, we could go public life. We could go entertainment. We could go organized military. Gate of All Nations already built. So is the Great Stele. Mundo Perdino is not really where I want to go. Citizenship gives you a lot of food. Oh, Wangyang Palace only gives you 3 influence now, but it gives you a tradition slot. Oh, that's good, dude. That's pretty good, dude. Terracotta Army and Mausoleum of Theodoric are both really good picks, though. We go up to Organized Military and then Entertainment. Entertainment is obviously really good, but we already have Oracle unlocked, so let's go Organized Military. And let's get Oracle. Now that has to go on a rough terrain tile. That has to go next to the city center. Whoops. Oh, hang on. I'll build it in Mycenae. It's 9 turns to build. But that should be okay. I don't think the AI are going to build it out from underneath me, but let's invest this into more stuff first, just to make sure. Get some production over here. I need to make sure that... Oh, man. You know what I need is camels. I need to put production over there. Let's get another great person. Ooh, this gives us a unique great work. Hymn to Aphrodite. Which will give us 2 culture instead of 2 science. Nice. This is something I want to see. I want to see the +2 culture be like an actual purple number down here, and then this could be science, and I can give you science. So what's changed? Not so much, dude. How much have you followed the Firaxis Feature Workshop? Because that'll help me answer you more properly. Because obviously a lot's changed in the entire update, but there's been smaller changes since the round 3. KW. Yeah. Unless you just troll it, and in that case, well done. Yeah, I don't want to lose the Oracle. Let's grab... There's wool over there and go for that. Trade map, I'll definitely try to share that. And let's see. Ah, okay. So we don't have the +1 settlement limit from expansionists here. We do have food on food buildings. We have food on resources. We have a free settler. I don't think I need a settler. I'm going to go conquering. Food on granaries and fishing keys is nice. Food on field millions is great if you got a lot of gardens. Food on resources is just good, like, everywhere. Because it's, like, on the improvements themselves. So, yeah, let's just do food on resources. Right? Iron generating food. Food on, like, cotton. A lot of food. Oh, there's a boat here. Hello. All right, let's get another celebration for Wonder production boost. And initiating, let's get combat strength here and get influence here, and that should be good. All right, we got another great person. Getting 75 influence. Fantastic, dude. Oh, on standard speed, so it was only half of that. It was 35 here. They forgot to include the wonder changes, like the nice Wei Yang one. Yeah, that's I think that happened in one of the workshops. So that might be why they missed it. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, next turn we got bronze working. Awesome. I need to unlock more wonders too, so the capital can build one. Now, you don't get any bonus for building wonders in the capital, but remember, next age, we can move our capital somewhere else. And you can pick what settlement now becomes your next capital. It doesn't have to be like a predefined this city or this city. It's you can pick any town, any settlement can be your capital in the next age, which is a very big deal. Really big deal. Something I directly asked for sure. All right, I don't know where the garden can even get any adjacencies. It is a +1. Yeah, that's why. I could just build it just to get it. A little bit of happiness too. Technically, you want to build down here your food tiles eventually. I'm trying to think about what needs to go here. Because it wasn't the Oracle. Let's just build down towards the south. Just to get quarters built around the capital. Machu Nifers needed? Yeah. When they changed, because they changed everything, how everything works, right? Ooh, all right, cool. Bronze working has been unlocked. I immediately go for bronze working mastery, because this will give us +3 combat strength on our infantry and a codex as well. So that is absolutely where we want to go. I'm gonna immediately upgrade the units that are in here in the commander. And yeah, because it's 60 gold for each upgrade. So this is what I mean. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to upgrade. Because it's reliant on gold per turn as well. I mean, you can't like trade for gold. Okay, Possum's getting, they're getting some walls. So that is something we're going to have to deal with. But we knew that. That's fine. Ooh, negative 100% science for 1 turn, but you get 10 production. Or you get culture. Let's actually get the culture boost here. And let's get that gold back. Now, in the meantime, what I could do to increase my gold per turn is I could actually turn some town focuses on. I need to get this... Oh, okay. I need to get up to 7 pop, though. And none of them are 7 pop. Oh, I wanted to make this a mining town to, like, increase my gold per turn for a short amount of time, but not looking like I can do that. Oh, that's what I want to put there. I want to put the barracks there. Oh, well. That's fine. Notre Dame still busted? I think so, yeah. Do they just spawn the walls in later? Lame. I don't think they spawned it. I think they build them now. I remember seeing that pretty early on one of the workshop updates, is that they don't get the free walls the same way. I think they're just building them. Oh, hello. Oh, he might declare war on me. I don't see any city-states befriend, so I'm going to take out the befriend card. And instead of plug in the sanctioning card. So that I can sanction his military production, because I don't like this. 11 influence to sanction his military production. That's so worth it. Holy cow. I can also steal his tech. He actually has lower science than the two of these guys, so I'm going to steal from her. And I'm going to try to get military aid soon. I probably need to get it now. Oof, I don't like this. Hang on, back up. I definitely don't want to be on the river like this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I need to move forward, but I think he's going to declare war. Let me get the military aid. He accepted it instead of supported, which is unfortunate. He wants a farmer's market. I'm going to have to only accept and not support that because I need a lot here. Oh, the farmer's market would have helped this settlement grow faster so I can specialize it so I could get my gold. Oops. Remember, they only get free walls in the first cities in 5 towns or something like that. But it's like, it's in cities, it's only in the city hall for sure. And I think towns is 0. But I would have to, it didn't say it in the main menu, so I'm not sure exactly. I could attack him this turn, to be honest. But I think we're gonna wait. Let me get this terracotta army I want to build. That'll give me a free army commander. Fantastic, dude. Then I can push with 2 army commanders, which would be ideal. Yep, he declared war. Yep. That's why. Oh, shoot, he's behind me? Been in the theater too long and hunger for the sound of a cannon. What's a cannon? All right. Let's try to add some war support. He's got some war support on us. And then we can actually get our first alliance. So we'll pull him into the war just for the fun of it. This is...
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
How about some more? 2 turns on our celebration. Oracle's almost built. Terracotta army can be built there next to the Oracle. Ooh, unusual activity. Opening of the city garden attracts large crowds with its vivid beauty, but a lush, peaceful surrounding are disrupted by his horrific discovery. A body burned in one of the flower beds. Jesus. Story continues. The people and the government must work together to resolve this issue. But this is a job for the guards alone. Ooh, do we work with the people? Or do we handle it ourselves? I guess we're a democracy. We're a classical republic. Enjoy the tiny nerdy. We're gonna work with the people for this one. Yeah, defensive settlement, that's fine. Definitely need to take care of the guys behind me first. I need this hoplite to be upgraded. I'm getting like 8 upgrade per turn because I'm making 60 gold per turn. And then I need to step back with a commander so that I can get some shots off and get some experience on them. Ah, man, I was hoping I was gonna get more than that. But you can see here, let me just kill that guy. Cool, and we got a promotion. That's fantastic. That could be all the way up to the assault. Infantry and cav with the commander radius have first strike, giving you 5 combat strength when at full health. And our commendation, which gives us 5 combat strength on order. So now you can see my hoplite here, who's a tier 2 unit, has 40 combat strength. As 2 from City State Suzerains, 2 from Iron, 2 from Determinability, 2 from King of the World, 2 from Adjacent Hoplite, 5 from Order, 2 from Route, and 2 from Military Aid. 40 to 27. Pretty decent, eh? So, and then I can actually go ahead, clear this out, and drop my other hoplite down. And then maintain our line. I could also push, but I don't want to push. So I'm just gonna have them hold their spot. Awesome. And yep, wonders. Yep. Got my slinger, and yeah, we could even levy units here. We have a warrior, but no, I just want to deal with my hoplites. I'll let the city-state do some damage on its own. It's right there. It's not gonna need help. I should probably build that barracks, huh? To get the terracotta built faster. It is 2 turns. How expensive is terracotta? 187. 25 production. This is 7 production, though. That's so much production. I think I want to put it right here, because it actually gets a good market eventually. The barracks, I actually try to build the production buildings, ignoring adjacencies, because I want to keep them into the next stage. So I'm just going to put it with a +1 right there. Oh, not on the woods. Oh, well. It's on the woods. All right, that'll be a city-state next turn. So let's just grab the goodie hut. Ooh, recruit an archer. 25 gold. That's such a steal. Oh, that's a good deal. And then you can do a reinforceability, too. An archer is how much gold right now? 100. So that was a 75% off archer. That's such a big deal. Oh shoot, they're still attacking me. I thought they were going to convert. I guess they convert at the top of the turn. Yep, that's it. All right, cracking the case. In the aftermath of the garden murder, guards search for clues and conduct interviews while the community leaders organize a neighborhood watch. At least a witness is found, and the culprit is swiftly caught. All breathe a huge sigh of relief, and the garden becomes popular once more. 50% happiness towards the next celebration. Sick, dude. That might mean that I actually roll into the next celebration right away, which could be pretty good. All right, so let me take out the crabs. Hello? Production. Yeah, I definitely need resource slots. We need markets. Got that unit. All right, cool. So, hoplites. Oh, that's the city-state unit. Awesome. So we're just going to head and go push here. I'm going to pack my slingers so I can upgrade them all at once. This guy needs an upgrade, so this guy can push and push. There we go. Yep, we're going to have to post them. Infantry mastery coming next. Get my influence back, get the war readiness offer back. Now I'll keep a scout over here on the backside, just so I have a better idea of what military he's actually working with. That scout healed too. How much production for this barracks to be built? 72, never mind, we'll just work on it. Alright, he's trying to attack the city-state, but he's just going to end up losing his army. Alright, technology-wise, I definitely need to get up to currency for gold buildings, but I also want to get to the wheel for my ballista. Oh, masonry. I don't have my monuments yet. I definitely need that. This is not a defenseless settlement. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so I'm going to have to push with my hoplites. Step them into the woods. All right, we're gonna step forward. Oh wow, that slinger does a ton of damage to these guys on the water. Wow, even full kill the unit. All right, 53 combat strength to 28. 2 from City States, 3 from Iron, 2 from Determined, 2 from King of the World, 3 from Bronze Working, 5 from First Strike, 2 from Adjacent Hoplite, 5 from Order, 2 from Route, 2 from Military. Sick, dude. That's sick, dude. And then this guy can even kill him. Which means my Hoplites will be able to move forward even more. And even get close to those farms to pillage. Awesome. This slinger can even move up. Oh, nowhere to display codices. I need to get more libraries then. And Oracle's built next turn. Fantastic. Start chipping around the defenses too. Awesome. This city state being here, being under our control, is so helpful.
I count the grains of
There it is, the Oracle.
the sea.
We built the Oracle in the Alexandria, Mike, and A.
The dumb
Fantastic.
hear.
Which means I get a quick point for wildcard points. I can actually roll this straight into 5 culture per age in cities with at least 1 wonder. It would be a lot of culture for me. I could go for war support. I could go for science. I'm going to go for the 5 culture on the cities in the 1 wonder because that's 5 culture now. It's going to be 10 culture here in a little bit. So that's going to be awesome for us. And let's immediately roll. Hang on. When's our next celebration? Our celebration ended, but we got a celebration next turn. Can I actually initiate it this turn? Nope. All right, that's fine. All right, I need production here. So let's get the 2 production on that tile because we're building that wonder. It's only 4 turns to build now. Awesome. Ooh, where's that city state? Did I mean to stream in 780p? No. Why is it in 780p? I wonder if it's in 780p in both or if that's just Twitch.